I'm Arena with the Office of Admissions. Do we call me Miss Arena?
No.
What do we call me?
Arena.
Just Arena. I know it's a little weird, but I want you to work on that. I'm very excited to welcome you to our first snowy open house of 2019. Before we start with all things related to admissions, I would like to invite our president, Dr. Armin Dergurian, to say a couple of words to you. So Armin Jan.
Hi, Luis. Good morning. I'm very glad to welcome you all to the American University of Armenia on a nice snowy day. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your interest in our university. The AUA, the university, was established in 1991, and the classes opened on September 21, 1991. And as you know, that's the day that the Parliament of Armenia declared independence. So this university, to the day, is as old as the Republic of Armenia. So it's an interesting coincidence that I thought you might be interested in knowing. The university was established as a collaboration of three organizations: the Armenian General Benevolent Union, AGBU, the Republic of Armenia. In fact, the other building that you came into, which used to be the Congress Hall of the Communist Party, was given to us by the Republic of Armenia for use without any compensation. So we are grateful, and over the years, the government of Armenia has also helped the university in many different ways, including providing support to students from special categories. And the third organization was the University of California system, which is a system of 10 campuses. Probably you know University of California at Berkeley, where I was a professor for many, many years, and UCLA and several other campuses. Because the three founders, myself and Dr. Mirna Babian and Dr. Stefan Karmarnian, were affiliated with the University of California, we were able to get them to help us establish the university, and to this date, AUA is affiliated with the University of California, and that affiliation has many important factors, many important elements in it, including the fact that a third of our Board of Trustees are former high-level academics of the University of California, including the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Larry Pitts. So this affiliation is a very important element for this university. It has many benefits for us, and I must say University of California system is one of the best, if not the best, public university in the world. We are accredited by so-called Western Association of Schools and Colleges, which is one of the 6 regional accrediting agencies recognized by the Department of Education of the United States. What this means is that a diploma received from AUA is considered as a U.S. accredited diploma. It's recognized by all universities in the United States, of course, but also universities in other places. When they know this is U.S. accredited, it has a certain weight to it. It also means that when we receive transfer students from the United States, for example, we have quite a few of those, they can easily transfer credits from AUA to their home universities. As an American university, our approach is somewhat different from Armenian or European way of teaching. our teaching is a lot more interactive and requires engagement from our students. So don't plan on taking it easy until the end of the semester to take a final exam and get a grade. That will not happen. If you're a student at AUA, you have to be engaged throughout the semester. You have to be engaged, participate in discussions in the class. You have to do homework weekly, you have to do term paper, you have to do projects. You have to be engaged continuously in the learning process. It is not, well, I'll wait until the exam and then I'll crash and read over 2 nights and then go take the exam. It's not going to happen. So be prepared if you come to AUA to participate in the educational experience continuously. What we emphasize is students' active involvement in the learning process, because we believe that prepares you for critical thinking throughout your experience. I want to urge you, if you come here, be prepared to participate in extracurricular activities. We have many events here, lectures, conferences, symposia that our students are invited, and it is very important for students to participate in this kinds of activities because it broadens your educational experience. And we have many student-driven clubs, arts, dance, chess, probability, this, that, mathematics, all kinds of clubs that students form and students lead, and we urge you to participate in these clubs, in these activities, and also this provides you with an opportunity to show your talents and also your potential for leadership. It's very important if you participate in these kinds of activities later on. It is recognized by employers as leadership quality, as kind of activity that shows potential for leadership. In this connection, I want to express a special thanks to our student volunteers. You've seen them all. They are members of our volunteer club, or maybe not, but they are volunteering for the university on this occasion, and I want to express my deep gratitude to them. A word about cost of education at AUA. Probably you know that our tuition is higher than other universities in Armenia, but it's much lower than other American universities, for example, Americans to Beirut and others. But it's important for you to know that the cost of education at AUA is far more than the tuition. Actually, the tuition pays about 35, 36%, 37% of our operating budget or the cost of education of our students. The rest comes from donations from directly or indirectly, and we're always grateful to our donors that make it possible to heavily subsidize the cost of education. The cost of education is high because of the facilities, because of the kind of salary that we give our faculty, international faculty as well as local faculty, because we think that's the right thing to do. Nevertheless, probably you know, and it will be discussed here later, that we have a very good program for need-based admission and supporting students who cannot afford. So no student who is admitted to AUA will be required to pay full tuition if they cannot afford it. So there's a need-blind admission policy that will be discussed later. About close to 50% of our domestic students get some form of financial assistance, because for us it is extremely important that we have a diverse body of students that are qualified to study at AUA, but whose finances are not necessarily at the level that they can support, they can pay the full tuition. So we are able to do that, again, thanks to many of our donors. Again, I want to thank our volunteers, and I welcome you here, and I hope that you will have a very informative and fruitful day here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to ask my boss, Dr. Randall Rhodes, to come up. Guess what yesterday was? It was his birthday. What did we say to people who did it? Okay, so before we actually start, I see an empty chair over there. I see an empty chair over there. Now, everyone in the back, hi. Guess what I want you to do? I want you to come over here and sit right in front of me. In that case, if I fall on you and I don't die. All right? Come on up.
Can you move down?
Okay, we're on the enough to ask us and it's a very true step on Kang Nazik. Can you make a garage? It's go for the stick.
Can you move down one?
And then if there are any chairs that are empty next to you, please move in so that the edge seat is remains empty and someone can sit.
Oh, why can't you move down one? Just move down one. Here?
Now, this is a really interesting question, and I'm going to guess that very few people will raise their hands. Who brought a cell phone with them? You're lying. All of you are lying to me right now. So if you have a cell phone, this is our Wi-Fi username and the password. You are more than welcome to join and post about how amazing or not amazing you feel at the open house. Okay, where are my volunteers? Volunteers, go get everyone in the back and force them in front and have them sit right here. We just had the carpeting cleaned, so we're okay. So, really quickly, who here has already graduated high school? Raise your hand.
Come on guys, move up and sit down on the front.
Thanks to know unen for Anglen Chihaskanum. So no over Anglen Chihaskanum. Yes, the content says Bartsatsnek coming to Stanik Hayani Master, but the Beva Nuin Esamenicha Hayana Banstum. Devchika, and this Stifats Gangas coming up. Okay, we is marked over Anglen Chihaskanum. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to talk to you about the reasons why you want to study at AUA.
Right there.
We'll talk about the different academic programs. We'll talk about how to apply to AUA, how decisions are made of how students are admitted to the university, what you can do starting as of now to prepare for your application because it is not a one-day deal. We'll talk about tuition and financial aid, and then at the end, we have a raffle. Who came only for the raffle? You need to go. Okay. He looks familiar. Okay, so before I start, what are the main reasons? Who wants to study at AUA? Who's made that decision? Bachimu, why? They laugh at my Russian every time. Why do we want to study here? You in the back, scream because I can't hear very well. It's the best university. Is Alexandra here or no? Oh, my daughter left me. Okay, where are my volunteers who want to hand out chocolates? Aram, you do not eat chocolates. You hand them out. You're on a diet. Good. Who said AUA is the best? Why else? I can't hear you. You have to scream. Best, good education. Okay, good. Give the lady in pink. So it's not just a practical education. It's not just a theoretical education. It's also practical. I want a guide to tell me something. Yes, go.
It provides an English education that is required to study US.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, some of the main reasons that we hear about why people are interested in studying at AUA, number one is our accreditation, right? So if you graduate, ultimately the diploma that you receive is accredited by the WASC Senior College and University Commission. So it's like studying in the US, but physically in Yerevan, which is, according to The Economist, the best country, right?
So if you get courses here, they transfer to California. If you go to California for a semester, courses get transferred back here because the credit hours and the courses are equivalent because we have the same accreditation. So after you graduate AUA and you submit your application for grad school, a PhD in California, they will understand our transcript and will see it as an equivalent as many of the UC schools.
Hi everyone. How are we? You guys want to walk down with me? Yes, we do. Come on, let's walk to the front. I throw chocolates to the front much more than I do to the back. Let's go. You're not you. You're a student. Go, Encantada. I will not continue. I'll have this weird, awkward, I'm staring at you look until you guys get up. All of you guys up there, come on in the front, please. You like standing? Well, come stand in the front. You can stand on stage with me. So, campus profile. How many students does AUA have right now? Are we a bigger undergraduate student body or graduate student body? Undergraduate. So right now we have about 1,361 students studying at the undergrad level. Do we have more female or male?
Female.
And is that indicative of this audience? Yes. Why is that? Because girls are smarter. Guys, is that true? The guys even say yes. In terms of the breakdown, about 13% of our students are international. Some hold dual citizenship, while others are just purely international. And 87% are citizens of Armenia. So who here is not a citizen of Armenia? Where are we citizens of? Oh, you guys don't look Armenian. Where are you from?
From the Philippines.
Awesome. Hi. There was a recent bombing there. I'm so sorry. Where are you from? You're from America. But you live here. Okay. Your parents made a smart decision. Where else? From the Philippines. Of course you give chocolate. What happened to the Armenian hospitality? Where else? Do I have anyone from Syria here? Raise your hands. Awesome. Do I have anyone from Lebanon? Anyone from Russia? Anywhere else?
India.
Where?
India.
India. Awesome. Ooh, India gets chocolate too. And then in terms of the breakdown of Armenians, 81% are coming from Yerevan and 19% from the regions, the Marses. Who is from Yerevan? Who is from the Mars? Okay, this is an interesting question I'm going to ask. Who does better at AUA, the Yerevansis or the Shurjansis? Which one? Yerevansis, you guys need to be studying a little bit better because the ones from the regions are doing a little bit better in their studies. Some more interesting facts and figures. We have currently students from 26 countries. I want to see Philippines. That will be number 27. We have 3,927 alumni, and that's important to you because alumni might be able to help you in terms of networking, finding jobs in the future, and it's just overall they're really, really supportive to our students. We have an amazing library. Do you have to be a student here to study to use our library? No. What is the one requirement? To be 16. The 16-year-old answerer, Aram, gets chocolate. Don't sit.
Can you raise your hand?
Raise your hand. Throw it at her, but don't break her glasses. Okay, and then we also have one amazing part of AUA is, as we mentioned, the practicality. We have research centers, right? So there's a lot of practical stuff that goes into your education. Alumni employment. Who wants to work after they graduate? It's pretty important, right? And that's something that AUA is putting a lot of efforts in. So you'll see our first graduating class at the undergraduate level. Are a lot of the students working? What do we think? Do we see that? Yeah. So if you look here, you have 45% that are actually working. You have 7% that have started their own things. You have 9% that are both studying and working. 21% have gone on to do their further studies, master's degrees. And then we have about 15% who are seeking jobs. Is that a good statistic?
Oh, sure.
So will you be part of the 85% or will you be part of the 15%? You guys sound really, really confident when you say that.
Their math is
Their math is not good. Okay. Now, one of the great new additions, as I mentioned, is the career services that AUA is offering, and this is something new. We've never talked about this before. So the Center for Student Success, the Student Union, will be hosting a number of workshops. Mariam, can I maybe invite you to talk about this? Do you want to talk about that? Or shall I finish and then lead on? Okay. So who has a resume? Who thinks they have a good resume? Everyone should lower their hands. I'm going to guarantee you do not have a good resume.
I hope that you don't have your photo on the resume. Do not put your photo on the resume.
Who
That
has
is
their
the number
photo on
one
your
lesson we give people.
So we'll do a lot of workshops and trainings on how to find jobs. Where are my ambassadors, student ambassadors? How many of you have already got some internships or work experience? Is that a good number right there? So these are efforts that we'll put to help you find things while you're studying. We will be organizing meetings with you and potential employers so that it's a great networking opportunity. We'll give you a lot of different job and internship opportunities. That doesn't mean that you're going to guaranteed find something, but it means that if you're good, you have a good work ethic, you're doing well in your studies, that definitely you can find something during your studies. There will be a lot of networking events with our alumni and current students, and we'll give you individual consultations on writing your CVs and tips on how to interview.
And in each college, there's going to be a specialist who will know how the academic programs relate to industry. So how courses are aligned with jobs. So if you take this course, these are your job options. If you do this course, these are the internship or employment options. So therefore, in your programs, you will have individuals who can help you with those one-on-one consultations to make sure you're on track to get the job you need.
Great. Now I would like to invite Mariam Mikhailova, who will talk about our student union and the amazing opportunities our students have here on campus.
Hello, welcome to AUA. My name is Mariam Mikhailova. I am the manager of student services. Some of you I already saw this morning. Wave your hand if you've met me in the student union. That's it? No, there were more. Okay, so AUA has a special place for students, student union. It's a space where students can study, where they can hang out, they can work on their projects. Do you have places like this in your school? Raise your hand if you have a special place for students at school. Yeah, not a lot. Well, AUA gives you that opportunity. It's a beautiful place. That's where we conduct workshops discussing your CV writing skills, or that's where we have our math and writing center. As a student at AUA, it doesn't matter what your major is going to be. You will have to write papers. If you are an engineer, future engineer, or if you are English and communications major or business major, you will be required to write papers. And sometimes it's hard to do. How to avoid plagiarism, how to cite your sources. So we have special consultants, and it's free of charge. You make an appointment and specialists will help you. So your first year at AUA, you will be spending a lot of time in our math and writing center. As a math student, if you're taking pre-calculus or discrete math, or later on another more complex math subject, we have a math specialist here as well. So in the student union, we have a math and writing center, and we also have at AUA counseling services, hokebanner. So these are free services, and you don't have to, have a big problem. You can have just nervousness before exams, for any kind, or you need to talk to somebody you can trust. It's a confidential service. We have 2 counselors now, and you can come and use our counseling services. We also have disability support services. If you have any kind of health problem, whether it's chronic or temporary, our specialist will help you and make your journey at AUA easier. We have workshop series. Our faculty and staff present workshops regularly on how to write an essay, how to prepare a resume, how to prepare for interviews, and all sorts of topics. Sometimes we even ask students, what topics would you like to see at the workshops? And you can give suggestions. And this year we have a new service. If you would like, when you are not a freshman, Later on, if you would like to travel for a semester abroad experience, adventure, to a country in Europe or in the US, well, mostly in Europe, you can actually apply and go study for 1 semester in an American university of, let's say, Rome, or, I don't know, Egypt. You can go to Spain and study for 1 semester. But for that, you need to have a very good GPA, you have to be a very good student, and that will be a cool experience. Student clubs. You're not here to study only, but that's your main reason why you're here. You're here to get good quality education. But along with that, university provides you with opportunities to participate in student life. You do not want to be one of those students who comes to classes and then leaves as soon as they're over. You want to use the services we provide, whether it's counseling, math and writing, etc. And of course, you can participate in student clubs. We've got more than 20 clubs: photography, animation, dance, theater, whatever you'd like. And the university supports student initiative. We have different activities, and they help make university life more interesting. That's where you make friends, and this is what you're going to remember after you graduate from AUA. So, thank you very much. That will be it. Do you have any questions?
So how many of you were in the student union during your tour? In the new space? The space only opened September 25th, so it is only half a year old. So, as the president said, we started in 1991. Slowly we're renovating various spaces within the older building, creating new spaces. Again, the American context here. Most of this is funded by USAID from ASHA, American Schools and Hospitals Abroad. So we competitively apply. So for student union, the library, the study space in the lobby of the main building. We're going to work on the park, hopefully. We have a residence hall that's going to open up. We have a social entrepreneurship center that's going to open up. The EPIC Center. All of this was funded by these US grants. So therefore, we have this very good connection with the United States and the American people.
As I said, we have many clubs. Well, today the representatives of AUA Musical Club Silhouette will be presenting something to you, little entertainment, so it's not just talking. So Anne Spiran, Rafael Avakian, and earlier you heard Sona Karganyan play the piano for you. So Anne and Rafael, please come up. Enjoy.
Where's the microphone? Is this good? Or do you want this one?
City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, there's so much that I can't see. Who knows if I will ultimately get admitted here? My endless fears will leave me alone. City of stars, just one thing everybody wants. They're in the labs and through the hallways of the student union. It's fun. Yes, all we're looking for is skills, not GPA. Yes, DS, CS, look in somebody's eyes to light up the skies, to open the world and send me reeling. A voice that says I'll be here and you'll be alright. I don't care if I know just where I will go, 'cause all that I need, this crazy feeling, a rat-tat-tat in my heart. of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, never shine so brightly.
When you get to be my age, you'll actually cry when people do things like that. Thank you. And I love the word changes, even though you hate me for forcing you to do that. Okay, so we're now going to get back to the serious stuff. But before we get back to the serious stuff, for those of you that got chairs, I want you to look to see if there's anything on the chair, a little piece of paper. Ooh. I feel like it's, where is it? Is Milena here? Milena's not here. It's under? It's under. Look under. Nard, I feel like you need to get videos of this happening. This is funny. Did anyone get anything? You guys are not looking in the right place. There should be at least 6 papers.
And then the...
No, that's not it. Okay, I see one person. Where was your paper? So I see 2 people got pieces of paper. Read what's on your paper. No, you're reading the wrong paper. But that's cute. What did the other person get on her paper?
Guys, you should stand up and then look under the chair.
There's nothing under the chair.
No, Milena said she did it. We just really want to see you struggle. Yes, as our newly appointed Director of Communication just said, welcome to the next 4 years. It's a lot of struggle. Did anyone find anything? Esa Milena had hard to smooth. Okay, I'll figure that out later. So somewhere on those chairs, you guys should have little pieces of paper. I was told it's like near that little purple thingy. See, that little block inside? No? Okay. Well, we'll find it and we'll keep the prizes for ourselves. Okay, now I want to introduce our operations manager for our EPIC, the Entrepreneurship and Product Innovation Center. He has 2 minutes of things to say to you, after which we'll start the best part of the presentation, which is Milena, we couldn't find any of the papers. Oh, do they need to lift it?
No.
I feel like you hit it so you get to keep all the prizes yourself, Milena.
Just show that.
Yeah, show. Everyone look at Milena. Okay, so you're looking underneath the chair, like the bottom of the arm part, the armrest part.
Somebody found it.
Oh, we got more. You guys are not very creative when it comes to looking for prizes. What did you get? So the guy, what's on your paper? Notebook. Okay, so at the end, we're going to give you a blocknote, an AUA blocknote. What did you get? It's a number. Okay, so you dropped that. No one else found any. What is on yours? You, what?
A pen.
You really only get a pen? You guys are mean. Okay, so as you guys get a little bit, antsy and you want to move, try to find it again. So Armanjan, come on up, talk to us about EPIC.
Hello everyone, my name is Arman Arakelian and I'm the Operations Manager at EPIC, which is Entrepreneurship and Product Innovation Center. Basically, we innovate here at AUA, and I'll tell you what we do here. So we help students, teams to launch their startup ideas. Who here wants to be a businessman? Have their own venture? Do their own thing? Some of you do. So this is where you would go at AUA. If you had a great business idea, we would support you build it in the initial stages. EPIC is, again, so you have an idea, you have a team. EPIC supports AUA students and the alumni. you need to have at least one member of the team who is a student or an alumni. And what we do workshops, mentoring, coaching, lectures, meet up with successful entrepreneurs, tech talks, all of that to help you start your own business. And we also later we also help you find the right funding, right type of funding for your venture. These are some of our mentors and speakers, and some the picture of our facilities. So we have a prototyping laboratory with 3D printers, lots of other equipment, and we have successful alumni who have started successful businesses. One of them is already in Europe, Currency, right? And Bridge. They have also won prizes. What we do now, this year, what we're doing, we have a trip to Silicon Valley for the best startup teams, and they're gonna network at Silicon Valley and kind of get to know the ecosystem there. As you know, it's one of the most innovative places in the world. And we have some, our teams have won some awards and grants from different, places, EU for Business, Estonian Startup, FinTech Accelerator, etc., etc. So, what I want to leave you though with is, I think AUA, this is just one part of AUA, and it kind of helps you grow your business. But AUA itself is such a great community, and I'm new to AUA also, and I'm so happy I left my job, senior position in one of the biggest IT companies, and I came here to be full-time here just because I love the culture here and I love to be part of community. So welcome to AUA again, and I do hope to see some of you come to Epic and be successful like our teams do. Thank you.
Why don't you say
I used to work here, but I never studied here. I also teach here. I teach design thinking and interaction design. Those who are interested in this, I'm waiting forward to having you in my class. Thank you.
So one follow-up to Armon's presentation. Who's heard of Silicon Valley? What state is it in?
California.
Who said California first? Chocolate for you.
Thank you.
Okay, and for those of you that are from the regions, Dr. Rhodes mentioned it a little bit before, but thanks to funding through the American Schools and Hospitals Award abroad, we are now building a really nice dormitory. So who wants a little bit of independence? Who does not want to live with their parents? So this is a great opportunity. Just a reminder, when you get independence, what does that mean? Laundry, cooking, cleaning. And it's going to be fully accessible for any disabled students, and we anticipate that we'll be opening the dormitory sometime in 2020. Okay? So, what programs do we offer at AUA? Tell me.
English and communication.
Is that what you want to apply to?
No, I want to apply to this.
Okay, so business, English, and communications. What else? Engineering sciences. Data science. Computer science. Good. So, show of hands. If you plan on being a future businessman, I want to see your hands up.
Woman.
Okay? Or, yes, businesswoman. Future English and communications. Okay? Computer science. Okay, good number. Engineering sciences. All right? And final data science. Wow, you're going to apply to 2 programs, and they're both going to be data science. It's Aram, give him chocolate. Use both of his hands.
Can you raise your hand?
So the typical undergraduate structure at AUA is you're taking 5 3-credit courses each and every semester. It doesn't sound like a lot, but where are my students? Do you guys work a lot? They look kind of sad when they say that. Are we ready to work that hard? Okay, and you're taking about 40 courses over 4 years. 60% will be approximately in your major, and the rest will be outside of your major. And I would like to invite Suzanne to come and talk to you a little bit about general education at AUA.
So when you come to AUA to study, you beautiful scholars to be, you're going to take courses in your major to specialize. You've got an idea maybe already of what you'd like to focus on, but you're going to get a real liberal arts education here at AUA. Does anybody know what that means? Liberal arts, what does it mean? Humanitarian, well, sort of. Yeah, it means you're going to get a very broad education. You'll focus on your area of interest, but you'll have an opportunity to study many different subjects and disciplines. And the reason that's valuable in the world is because the world is constantly changing. The world is diverse and has many different ways. There are many different ways of looking at the world. And in order to be prepared for that kind of diverse world, you need to study different perspectives and different disciplines. So a liberal arts education gives you that opportunity to focus on something, but also to get a broad, wide education and an exposure to many different disciplines. So the general education requirements at AUA, as Arena said, you're going to take like 60% of them will be in your major, and 40% will be this broader thing. And this is where you can explore different ideas. Those courses that you'll take in general education are made up of two parts. One are foundations courses that every student at AUA has to take. And if you look at the list of those courses, it'll make sense to you. You're all going to take a course called Freshman Seminar, which is a course that will prepare you to think critically, to look at the world in a broad perspective, to find your voice so that you can express yourself, which is an important part of your education. It'll also help you to write, to learn how to write for an academic environment. You'll all also take Armenian language and literature. You'll all take Armenian history, and then you'll take physical education courses, which is a requirement for everyone to be active, and you'll take a course in civil defense and first aid. So those are foundations courses that every student at AUA is required to take and do well in. But then you'll have many choices in the breadth of your education. You'll be required to take a few courses in arts and humanities. You'll have to take some courses in the social sciences, and you'll also have to take some courses in the quantitative sciences. And there are many, many different courses in each of those categories, and so you'll have a chance to explore what might interest you a little bit. Perhaps environmental sciences, a language and culture study like Chinese, Korean, we have French. There are many different cultures that we have instructors who can teach these languages and teach you about the cultures around the world. Startup culture. What will it take to start up a business? 20th century art. We all need to be exposed to and understand the impact that art has in the world. Introduction to human rights, music appreciation, sports analytics, topics in cinema. Yay! Tomorrow's technologies. This is just a sampling of the hundreds of courses that AUA offers in general education.
Hey, if you're going to do a shout out for topics in cinema, this is my course.
There you go. They're all really interesting and exciting. And again, it won't delve deeply into those topics, but it will give you a chance to see, to understand a little bit about the different parts of our beautiful world, and explore ideas of maybe things that you're interested in, like movies, or maybe things you didn't even know you were interested in, like human rights. So that's a general education. That's a liberal arts education. That's one of the great things about AUA, is you'll get a real broad and deep education. Any questions?
Thank you. I'm hoping that. All right, so now on to the actual application process. Who's in 12th grade? Who has already started their application? Who has already submitted an application? You can only submit one. Two hands. Two hands. Okay, who is planning to apply by the regular deadline? All right, good. So everything is done online, in.aua.am. right? We all have access to that website. It's pretty user-friendly. Sometimes it deals with issues, sometimes it doesn't. If you have questions, who do you come to? To me, the admissions office, not me directly. So our deadlines, what was the first deadline? Okay, so our first deadline, which is already passed, is December 15th. When will we release notifications? The latest by March 9th. Okay, so forever, oh, someone looks upset by that date. It might be earlier, but that's the latest we will notify you. The regular admission date is March 31st. And then we have a rolling, which is depending on space, right? If there is space, then you can also submit applications by June 30th. We definitely recommend as much as possible for you to apply by the March 31st deadline. Okay? So the application requirements include your actual application, so giving us a complete application. Proof of English language proficiency. What are the 2 exams you can take for English? So who's taking the TOEFL? Who's taking the IELTS? Who's a native English speaker? For native English speakers, do you need to take these exams? Right, there's a waiver for native English speakers. Math, who loves math? I love math. Good, okay. What are the exams that you can take for math? SAT and ACT. And then we also accept AUA math for those who are able to take it up until the last exam, which was July 2018. You're obviously going to submit proof of high school graduation, and Dr. Tekurian, our president, said something really important. You know, a lot of people at the end of December, they're like, I have 1 semester left, and then they stop studying. And what happens to their grades? They drop. And what happens with AUA? Bye. Okay, so the whole concept of becoming lazy because you think you're going to get into AUA and you'll have no problems, you do not want to do that. Okay, so make sure you keep studying. There is an application fee and you might be invited to an interview. Who is excited about interviewing? I'm excited to be interviewing too. Awesome. So we talked about the available entrance exams. The selection process. Does Dr. Rhodes decide if you are admitted? No. Do I? But what if I really like you? No, right? So who decides? How do we make decisions here at AUA? So the first thing is there is no magic formula. We keep saying this. If I have we always get these calls. Do I have a parent here to know Augusta? Im աղջիկս, իմ տղաս, ունի 87 TOEFL, SAT-ը ունի 830, մենք էլ ասում ենք 800-ից է մաքսիմումը։ Գնահատականներ շատ բարձր, էս է անում կընդունվի, and what is our answer? Okay, so for those of you who do not speak Armenian, we get a lot of phone calls from parents or applicants saying, I have 88 on my TOEFL, I have a 650 on my SAT, I have really good grades, I do a lot of activities. Am I definitely going to get it? What is our response? We don't know. We don't know. Why don't we know? Because there is absolutely no magic formula. The first thing we do when we make decisions is we look at how many seats we have open for each spot. So for those of you, depending on the program, you'll see how many students we will be enrolling this semester. Take a photo. Make sure I'm not in it. Or if I'm in it, make sure I look good.
So the message is, if 80 people apply for data science, there's going to be a 50% acceptance rate at best. If only 30 people or 40 people apply engineering science, the selectivity is going to be different. So it all depends on the candidate pool. If the candidate pool is large, because we have a growth in the number of applications coming to AUA, applications, we're going to get more this year than we did last year, the year before, or the year before that. The more applications we get, as more people graduate high school and AUA becomes more international, the more you're competing against the other people applying. So therefore, someone who had a score last year or the year before, they may have gotten in. It's no guarantee that you're going to get in this year. So scores from year to year, benchmarks, targets from year to year change based on who you're competing against. So that's always fluid.
Now, based on what Dr. Rhodes said, does it mean it's going to be the easiest to get admitted to business? No, right. Why? Because we get a lot more, let's say, applicants for the business program, and engineering sciences, there might only be 30 spots. We might get 30 applications, but we might not admit everyone, right? So we are looking for only students who will have the potential to succeed. So the selection process, the first step is our office will conduct a technical eligibility review. And we get really frustrated when we see that you guys are not reading instructions carefully and you're submitting incomplete applications. So please, before submitting the application, make sure you look at all of the instructions and submit every piece that we need. Then we have a separate committee. So we prepare the applications and they go to an undergraduate admissions committee. It is not comprised of anyone in the admissions office. It does not include the provost. It is faculty members, people who will be teaching you throughout your education. And they're going to do a holistic review, which means they're looking at your math, they're looking at English, they're looking at your extracurriculars, they're looking at your volunteer work, and they're looking at your essays. And they may also look at your interview if you're invited at one. And based on that, within 12 weeks of the deadline that you applied to, you will receive a decision. You're either admitted, you might not be admitted, you might be waitlisted, you might be deferred. So we have 5 different statuses. And we send everything through email. So who got an email from us that said your application is incomplete? Anyone? All right, so what did you do? When we send you an application that says it's incomplete, what do you have to do?
Send you something that you said that I don't have, but one thing, my application did have that thing when I sent it, and I don't know what.
You're lying!
Excuse me. I've put all out by my hand, and I've checked them all.
Okay, so if for some reason in the application we don't see a piece, so something is missing, we'll email you. And if you think that you've submitted it, then you need to make sure you contact our office so that we can ensure that your application status is updated to complete. And everything we do is online by email. So if you say, "But I didn't know," whose problem is that? Yours or mine?
Mine.
Yours, exactly. Okay, what is AUA looking for? So we've talked about this, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but who actually wants to learn? Who wants to study? So for those of you that didn't raise your hands, if you're a little bit hesitant, do you want to struggle? Do you want to spend a lot of time? How many hours do you guys spend doing homework?
Don't ask.
A lot. How much do you hate AUA during final exams?
Not the building.
Not the building. Okay, so again, we're looking for people who really want to work very hard and who want to succeed. If you're coming and you think that you can breeze through AUA, you're going to have a really hard time. So we talked a little bit about what holistic admissions are. The 3 most important factors are what you see up here. And then these are numbers that we have included on our website. It's also in the packages that are in your folders. So you can take a photo, or you can just look at what we've given you. So these are our target scores. And depending on which program you've been admitted to, you want to look at the targets for that specific program.
But again, that's not a guarantee that you're going to get in.
So let's assume you get a 77 on the TOEFL, and you get a, let's say, 610 on the SAT. Are you guaranteed denial to the business program? No. No, you're not guaranteed denial. But let's say you get 100 on the TOEFL and you get a 750 on the SAT. Will you definitely get in? No. Right? We're looking at every piece of your application. We have automatic denial thresholds. So for those of you that have taken your exams, either in the business program or the College of Science and Engineering, if your math score is at or below these scores, you will not be considered. And if your English for all programs is at or below these scores, you will not even go to the admissions committee. Your application will be automatically denied. Questions?
What about the English and communication?
So that's a really good question. Our undergraduate admissions committee recently made a change. So we used to have automatic denial thresholds for the English and communications program, specifically in math. But the undergraduate admissions committee saw a lot of amazing applicants who had phenomenal applications. They did amazing community service. They had amazing essays. Their English was really strong, but they did not love math and they were not good at math. So again, we removed the automatic denial threshold for math for E&C, but that doesn't mean we saw some interesting Facebook posts saying, "Oh, now over That is not accurate. Again, we're looking for the strongest applicants, okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Now, preparing to apply, the biggest advice I could give to you guys is to look through our website. And for those who have not been to our website, what do I say to you? Amot. Bet you were not expecting that. So I want you to go online because everything related to our programs, everything related to the admissions process, all of these target scores that you've seen, they're listed there. We have an FAQs, frequently asked questions, that will answer most of your questions. You need to decide on your program. Who is still not certain what program they want to study in? Who's undecided? Okay, and that's okay, right? Because you guys are still very young. How do you figure out which program interests you the most? Well, you have a few opportunities. One, you can look at everything online that explains these programs in detail, but probably more important than that, you can actually attend an open class. Do you have to pay money to attend an open class?
No, that's free.
Right, no, they're free of charge. Who has attended an open class? Great. Helpful? Not to her. She gets no chocolate ever. Blacklist her. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment.
But that's one of the biggest issues, that students pick the wrong program. You apply to a program, they end up in a program where they really don't have the disposition, they're really not interested in it, and they don't have the math foundation if it's business or engineering, and they don't do well. So they set themselves up for failure. So you have to very clearly think out which program is best for you. So this afternoon also, they can meet with representatives of the program. You got to pick the right program. You can't create your own challenges, your own obstacles.
And then obviously look into the policies, because a lot of the policies will stipulate exactly how things at AUA are done, and that's something that we actually recommend parents to look into. And then who's a little bit nervous about the cost of education? Do we know? It's a no, Mary says it seems like it. We have awesome financial aid for students and parents in need. And that's something to definitely know about before you start the application process. How do we prepare? Read that word for me. Can we say it with a little more excitement? Good. We study. I want you to study with a little bit more excitement than what you just showed me. Now, our AUA Extension Office is going to be downstairs up until 4 o'clock. They offer a lot of great preparatory courses for English as well as for the math. So if you're a little bit nervous about taking these exams, I definitely urge you to go and visit them. Our AGBU Papazian Library actually has a lot of amazing resources, books that you can look through to help you prepare for these exams as well. Now, should you wait until the 12th grade to start studying? No. Who's in 10th grade? Is it too early for you to start studying? No, it isn't. It is never too early. This is one section of our website that I definitely recommend you look at. This is all of the different events that we are hosting. So after today, when is our next activity? When is our next event? March 2nd. That's the day after my birthday. So if you want to come and say happy birthday to me, that's that day. If you bring a present, you die. No presents. So you can look through all of the different activities that we have, and we do periodically make updates to that. And then open classes. Again, under undergraduate events, you can go through open classes. How many courses do you think we open for you guys to try out? More than 200. Oh, that's a lot, right? So I definitely urge all of you to go home, look at it, and register. So very quickly about tuition assistance. So as Dr. Terkiraghan mentioned, AUA has the most expensive tuition rates in Armenia, but it is extremely affordable for an American education when you compare it to other U.S. universities. For citizens of Armenia, we do 100% need-blind admissions. We do not care if you can pay for your education or not. That's basically what that means. Any tuition that the university collects, 26% of that automatically goes towards financial aid. So that's where our pool of funding will come from, in addition to funds that we get from our donors. And we currently have more than 10 different opportunities available for financial aid, and my colleague Marina will speak briefly about that in a few moments. We just updated our website on the admissions site. That includes a lot more information about what the tuition rates are, and then so you would select undergraduate here. And then the different opportunities you have for financial aid. So here you'll see there's tuition assistance. And then there are also for international citizens, so for those of you coming from the Philippines, we do have something called the International Scholarship. And these are what the rates look like. For you, if you have the tenure residency or citizenship, these are the rates that you're getting locked into. If you have any other citizenship, then the rate is 2 million draw more, which basically puts it at the actual cost of education. And then there's an annual student services fee of 25,000 draw. The university has financial aid. So for the citizens of Armenia, last year 47% applied for tuition assistance, those that were admitted. How many got assistance? We've done this at every open house, so hopefully you remember this.
76.
You were so close. No chocolate for you, the 1%. So 77% of those that applied for financial aid received assistance. And what was the average discount?
55.
55. Okay, he can cut chocolate now, aren't you? So 55% was discounted. Now for our international students here. Last year, 87.5% of our students who applied for international scholarships, you have to apply for it. So 87.5 received. How much do you think was the average discount? 42%. So the maximum is 50% for international scholarships. Okay, so Marina, can I ask you to come on up?
Hello everyone. Thank you all for being present here today, and thank you for your interest in the American University of Armenia. I am Marina Mirzavagyan from the Office of Financial Aid.
Hold on. Wrong presentation. You're getting them all excited about the raffle.
So, at the Office of Financial Aid, our primary goal is to help students achieve their educational potential by providing appropriate financial resources. And we take great pride in our essential task of helping students and their families determine the best ways to meet their educational expenses. So during the upcoming 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to quickly talk about financial aid itself, its types, what types of financial aid exist, and who is eligible to apply for this option, how to apply for financial aid, and in case you have any questions, who to forward your questions to. Financial aid policy states that tuition assistance awards are available to degree-seeking full-time students who are citizens of Armenia. This type is need-based and it is not supposed to be repaid. The levels of financial aid are going to range from 0 to 90%, and this option again is available to citizens of Armenia. The level of aid is decided by the Financial Aid Committee based on the demonstrated need the student has. In case you want to apply, you need to make sure that you have visited the financial aid section of our website to make sure you have checked the deadlines, and also you need to have the application form at hand and also the checklist which is available on our website. So you need to prepare the tuition assistance package and submit the hard copy of it to the Office of Financial Aid. The deadlines for the academic year 1920 are the following. The early deadline has already passed, so the upcoming deadline is going to be regular, and financial aid deadline for it is April the 5th. In case of rolling admissions, financial aid deadline for rolling will be July the 1st. So you need to make sure that in case you apply for admissions by regular deadline, you need to apply for financial aid as well by regular deadline, because the deadlines are simultaneous. And tuition assistance awards are made for 1 academic year. Thus, once you get your tuition assistance award, you need to think ahead and make sure you reapply for it every year. So once you get admitted, you get your tuition assistance, you need to reapply for tuition assistance by March 2020 for the upcoming academic year. There are academic scholarships as well available to all the programs that undergraduate has, that is business, English and communications, computer science, engineering sciences, data science, and this scholarship opportunity provides you with 50% academic scholarship. For this option, students or applicants do not need to apply. In case of international students, international scholarships are considered to be merit-based, which can cover up to 50% of the annual tuition cost, international tuition cost. In order to apply for this option, international applicants or students need to submit the application form, which is available on our website, and to write an essay. The deadline to apply for this option is June the 30th, and you're going to send us an email to send the application form together with the essay to financialaid@aua.am. Also, we offer Aurora Gratitude Scholarship opportunity as well. This scholarship opportunity is available to citizens of Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, Russia, Georgia, and Iran. The applicants should hold the citizenship of one of the above-mentioned countries in order to be eligible to apply for Aurora Gratitude Scholarship, which can cover up to 100% of their tuition, providing with up to 100% scholarships. And also, this scholarship opportunity can also provide with airfare to Armenia from the country of residence of the applicants, and also housing costs in a university dormitory. The deadline to apply for this option is June 30th, and in order to apply for this option, you need to submit the corresponding application form. Again, send us via email to financialaid@aua.am by June 30th. So once you are successfully admitted to the American University of Armenia, let's see what other options we can offer to you for you to make the process of covering the tuition easier. For students, we offer deferred payment option. So what is a deferment? Deferments allow students to temporarily suspend up to 50% of their annual tuition for a specified period of time prescribed by an amendment to the main educational contract. This option is available for freshman and sophomore students. The deadline to apply is September the 9th. And in case of junior and senior students, we will offer student loan option. American University of Armenia has teamed up with Biblos Bank Armenia, offering heavily subsidized student loans with annual interest rate of only 5%. If you are interested in this option, the deadline to apply is September the 4th. Also, we have another option for you as well, which is installment payment plan. Generally, when you have your education contract, you are supposed to make your tuition payments within 8 months in the academic year. However, if you think you still have difficulties in covering your tuition in 8 months, you can let us know and we will make an amendment to your education contract, which will allow you to cover your tuition in 10 months or in 12-month installments. The deadlines, again, you can check on our website. And also there is the work study option available. Once you completed 1 semester at the American University of Armenia, you can look for opportunities of work study to apply for it and do some work and get the salary, which is going to be forwarded to your tuition payment. In case you have any questions, feel free to contact us either via email. Our emails are checked regularly, and you will get a response to your issue at the earliest possible timeline. So our email is financialaid@aua.am, or alternatively, you can call us by our phone number provided, or visit our office, which is located in the main building, 3rd floor. It is room 304. Just feel free to ask all the questions you have in order to avoid having any misunderstandings, because this is about your finance, about financing your education, so feel free to ask all the questions you have. Thank you.
Okay, so we are almost done. So we're going to start off with the raffle. Who wants to win some prizes? Okay, Dr. Rhodes, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, you guys have those little tickets. Where's my raffle box? There we go. Thank you. So everyone put their number in the box, right? Who did not put their number in the box? Do you have 2 or do you have 1? Yeah, so you put the number in the box. Okay, so the first prize that we are giving is the AUA keychain. Who's excited about the keychain? All right, you, come pick a number. You thought I was giving them the keychain. No, you didn't pick a number. 2. 243. Does anyone have 243? All right, pick again. Es die schmutzigen Omegas. 248. Come on down. We'll give you 5 seconds. If you don't answer in 5 seconds, then we are moving on. Anyone have 248? Next one. Please pick one that someone's here. 240. Anyone with 240? I'm gonna mix. One more, no. Okay, Dr. Rhodes. He thinks he'll be luckier than you.
201. 201.
Yes,
They just don't want the key ring. I think that's it.
Okay, now it's gonna be my luck. 200. Are you kidding?
There's someone.
Finally!
You are the lucky one.
Yeah.
After 5 attempts. Okay, so you're coming down, you're getting the prize. And next, what do we have? You hold the box. Who wants our float note? Alright. One of my Philippine students, come on up and pick a number. You're taking the box away, Dr. Rhodes. Alright. Let's see how lucky you're going to be in finding someone.
346.
Ooh, and you're loud. I like that. 346.
Come on
Ooh,
down.
good. Thank you so much. All right, next one. We have tote bags so you do not ruin the environment. Other girl from Philippines, come on up. Oh, you matched your socks with your sweater. That's so cute.
361.
361. I feel like we are telling thank you to everyone who came late.
Oh, we got
Thank you. All right, next one. We have flash drive. Who wants a flashka? Okay, you in yellow. Come on up. Try to pick something up until 100. Otherwise, I'm getting dirty looks from everyone. Close.
121.
121. Do we have anyone with the 121? Okay, pick another.
269. It's me.
269. Come on up for your flashka. Thank you. We now have. Who does not want to pay for an application fee? Okay. Army green guy, pick a number.
120.
120. You can thank Army green guy for giving you £15,000 discount. Thank you so much. I can't hear. Sorry. Okay, so then we have the who does not have a membership to the AUA library? Who wants one?
Yes.
I see it in the front row. It's This relates to studies. I feel like you're going to pick the best one here. Oh, you're picking a lot there. Again, 200s. 218. Come on up for your library card. Who wants the teddy bear? Come on up and pick the teddy bear person. Yes, you. $223. Yay, the Flex Sweat. No, that's a NASA. NASA gets a teddy bear. And who wants an AUA shirt? Alright. Aram, pick someone 0 to 100, please. 259. No one but 259? No, she got it. Mark is a Thomas sauce and chip on. And the last one. Who likes hoodies? Hi. From Bulian. pick the numbers. There we go.
171.
171. You're looking. That's like cheating.
136.
Okay, 136. So that is all of our prizes, but is Milena here? So here's Milena. Milena, come on up with me. So Milena is a work study. She's from Vanadzor. She's from Vanadzor. Say hi, Milena. So she studies and she works and she's doing really well. So everyone wants to be like Milena. She hid the numbers that are so hard to find that no one found them. So I want everyone to stand up again and look under. Where did you put it?
Like under the place where you put your arms on. Like under the bed.
So I want everyone to look for it again. So 2, 5, what does that mean? So you, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, you. There should be something under your chair. Yeah, you're not finding it. I want you to look. You found it. You got something too. So for anyone who gets a piece of paper, I want you to come up at the end, not right now, and we'll give you your prizes. So really quickly about the rest of the agenda today. So at 2 o'clock, for anyone who still has to submit an application, please come to our completing your application session. Room number is 113, followed by writing your essays, and then preparing for the interview. So those are between 2 to 4 o'clock. Throughout the rest of the day, we'll have a number of Q&As, as well as our volunteer league. Who wants opportunities to volunteer? So go talk to our AUA Volunteer League, and they'll give you good tips. And then now, what you guys are doing is you're going to go to the program sessions. So whoever is interested in the program, who do I have for business? So anyone who's in business, you're staying in Manugyan Hall, so do not stand up.